on to a talk by Dr. K.S. Balasubramanian, Deputy Director of Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. Dr. K.S. Balasubramanian, he is the Deputy Director of Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. He holds 2 PhDs in Sanskrit, both in yoga, PhD Hatha Yoga and PhD Raja Yoga. He has more than 35 years of teaching and guiding research scholars across the globe. He participated in and presided over many national and international seminars, including in Italy, Switzerland, Germany, France, Denmark, etc. Critically edited, translated many texts on yoga and other subjects. He published many research articles, reviews, books in research journals, magazines. He has received many awards and citations associated with Happiness Foundation seminar for 40 years. He is a tall figure, particularly in the yoga research area. He has been guiding students from India and abroad in the area of yoga manuscript research. And we are very proud as the Indic Academy to be associated with the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute in Colombo and with the work of Dr. K.S. Balasubramanian in particular. We are going to soon have a very good debate on Yoga and Advaita with K.S. Balasubramanian and others in Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. Over to Balasubramanian.
I should thank Professor Nagaraj Patori for his kind words, and I thank the organizers for giving us this opportunity to participate in this yoga conference. Like last year, this year also, a large number of scholars, almost half of the participants in this conference are from the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. And originally, I was about to present a paper on Yoga Pragbidheyani, the prerequisites into yoga, especially from the viewpoint of Hatha Sanketa Chandrika of Sundaradeva. But since I wrote the paper in Sanskrit and I could not reproduce it in English in time, so I was requested by the organizers to talk about the contribution of the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute for yogic studies, and I'm very happy for that. Thanks to Sri Vinay Chandra for this opportunity. I would talk about certain areas, research, publications, and then the projects, and finally classes, and then I will conclude. So when it comes to research, there are 2 types of research which used to be carried out in Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. One is the traditional type of research, where many traditional scholars, starting from Agnihotram Tatachar, R. Srivat Sangachar, and the great scholars have done a lot of research. And modern research, Professor Raghavan and Dr. Janaki used to be the leading luminaries who guided so many foreign scholars from different parts of the world. So in the traditional way of research, the first PhD or Vidyavaridhi offered by the Rashtriya Sanskrit Samsthan, New Delhi, was done by me on the encyclopedic text Hatha Sanketa Chandrika of Sundaradeva. Much was said about it, not in depth though, but anyway, we are bringing out a critical edition of it, thanks to Indic Academy. So this was done under the guidance of Dr. Janaki, because I was keen on doing research in yoga, and some professors did not encourage me to do so. It was Dr. Janaki who acceded to my request, and she chose this text. And of course, it is a very voluminous text. Anyway, I was able to complete the text, and it gives a lot of information on different aspects of yoga. So that was on Vidyavaridhi dissertation, for which I was given the degree by the Rashtriya Sanskrit Samsthan. Coming back to the PhD at the University of Madras, Yoga Yajnavalkya was the subject matter of my PhD under Dr. Kameshwari. And certainly, I won't call it a text on Hatha Yoga, though the ingredients of Hatha Yoga, for example, asanas, there are 8 asanas are there, different methods of pranayama are there. But this text is unique because it talks of Varnashrama system, and the Yajnavalkya is very strict disciplinarian when it comes to the practice of certain things. For example, he says, Vaishyanam Dharmayuktanam Stri Shudranam Tapasvinam Prana Samyamane Gargi Mantram Pranava Varjitam. So these people should not utter Pranava during pranayama. To such an extent, he was a very strict disciplinarian. So this text differs from many earlier texts as well as the later texts. So it was a unique text, Yoga Yajnavalkya. It talks of so many things. And this was published as a book by Karnataka State Historical Society, Dharwad. And then yogic elements in Pancha Mahakavyas. That was done by Dr. R. Muthulakshmi. I was thinking of inquiring the yogic elements in the Mahakavyas. I did some work with regard to Bharavis Kirartarjuniya and later Naishadiya Charita. But as a thesis, I wanted somebody to take up, and Dr. Muthulakshmi, whom we saw today morning, she did an excellent work collecting all the information on different systems of yoga from these Pancha Mahakavyas, Kalidasa, Raghuamsa, Kumarasambhava, Bharavis Kirartarjuniya, and then Magha, Shishupalavada, and finally Naishadiya Charita or Naishada of Sri Harsha, and a lot of materials from unknown yogic practices were also collected and were presented in the form of a thesis. And this thesis was very highly commended by the examiners, and with a remark that this presentation on hitherto unknown field is praiseworthy. That was her thesis, and which was subsequently published. And then we did a Shiva Samhita critical study by Dr. Archana. And the Shiva Samhita text is also unique. It contains 5 patalas, more than 500 verses, and it contains the principles of Advaita and Sankhya also, apart from Shakta elements, Saiva, and then Hatha Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Raja Yoga. There are some unique aspects as regard to the Shiva Samhita is concerned. All these things are brought out in the form of this thesis, and it is ready for publication. And then came Dr. Anuradha, whom we heard yesterday, Amrita Siddhi Yoga of Virupaksha Natha or Siddha. Dr. Anuradha Sivakumar made a critical edition of this manuscript, and also a critical study in Sanskrit with a detailed introduction and illustrations. That is a very good aspect of this thesis. So this should be translated in English and also published. And presently, there is a PhD going on by Mrs. Lavanya, and that is on Yoga Vasishta, one aspect of Yoga Vasishta. And coming to the MPhil dissertations, we have plenty of MPhil dissertations in yoga. Amanaska Yoga of Gorakshanatha formed the subject matter of MPhil dissertation by Dr. V. Premalata. This is an excellent text where many aspects of mind, how to gain mastery over the mind, they are all described. And the text describes Purva and Uttara Taraka, which are unknown hitherto. And later on, this idea was borrowed in the minor Upanishad, namely Advaya Taraka Upanishad. All these things, and this is an excellent text for practicing psychologists also. And all these have been so wonderfully brought out in this dissertation. Then came Goraksha Samhita. A critical study of this was written entirely in Sanskrit under my guidance by Mrs. Vibha from Jodhpur. She came all the way from Jodhpur to study this text under me. And this text consists of 202 verses. And this is though short, but informative details on Ajapa is given. One of the earliest texts to talk on Ajapa. And yesterday, Dr. Ganeshan was mentioning about the concept of Jiva and Brahman or God. This text of Goraksha talks about Jiva in a wonderful way. This text, as well as Yoga Yajnavalkya, opine that the Jiva rests in the Nabi region. and punya papa prayojitaha. So prachoditaha. This self is guided by punya and papa, which is quite against the concept of Advaita Vedanta or Vedanta for that matter. And then this text also talks about nadis, dasa nadis, because there was a lot of discussion on nadis. Dr. Vidyuta is going to give a lot of details about nadis. And Prashna Upanishad is the text which talks of 72 crore 72 lakh 72,000 nadis. Apart from the other Upanishads like Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya, which talks of 101 nadis, as Dr. Nagaraj Patori mentioned yesterday. But Prashna Upanishad gives another interpretation. And Shiva Samhita talks of 3.5 lakhs, Sardhalakshatrayam Nadyaha. So what is a nadi? There are many paryaya padas for nadi. Actually, there are 16 paryaya padas for the term nadi, like snayu, dhamani, shira. Even in Amaragosha, nadi tu dhamani shira, it says. But these have been used in Ayurvedic texts, and the Goraksha Samhita uses a beautiful, and also this Yoga Yajnavalkya, pranavahini. That is the term used for referring to the nadis in these texts. And then Yogapada of Matanga Parameshwara, Dr. Ganeshan talked about this text. This was done by K. Nagarajan under my guidance. Generally, Shaiva and Vaishnava agamas are divided into 4 sections: Charyapada, Kriyapada, Yogapada, and Vidyapada, though not all the agamas contain all the 4 padas. And some of the Shaiva agamas contain all the 8 limbs, but some contain only Shadanga or 6 limbs. Dr. Ganeshan talked about it yesterday. And Matanga Parameshwara Yogapada was taken for study by K. Nagarajan. And then Yogapada of Mrigendra Agama. That was also the subject matter of ample dissertation by S. Margabandhu. And Mrigendra Agama is an ancient Saiva Agamic text. It offers a few interesting yogic techniques not found in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali and also other yogic Hatha yogic texts. But when we talk of Hatha Yoga, when we talk of pranayama or asana, we forget to include 2 important things. One is the contribution of the agamas, which are much, much earlier, where more number of asanas are given. And number 2, the contribution of the ancient Tamils, Tirumular, and also Avayar. So these and other siddhas, 18 primary siddhas, starting from Agastya himself. Adinatha is supposed to be Lord Shiva, and then Agastya comes as the first guru, or Shiva is the first guru. And then from Agastya, we have got 18 siddhas, and there are 18 other siddhas also. They have all contributed so much for yoga, and much has to be done in this direction. And then Varaha Upanishad, Dr. Anuradha did her MPhil. This is one of the minor Upanishads categorized as Yoga Upanishad. It describes quite a few new technical terms. For example, yesterday she was talking of Chatushpatha. This term is used in Amrita Siddhi Yoga also, but it is not explained there. Varaha Upanishad says where Sushumna, Ida, Pingala, and Kuku meet, that is known as Chatushpatha. So like this, there are some technical points given in the Varaha Upanishad. It also talks about the position of nadis, prana, etc. And the illustrations given by Dr. Anuradha enhances the value of the dissertation. Then comes the Shandilya Upanishad. It was taken as a subject matter for MPhil by Mrs. Mrinalini. This Yoga Upanishad contains many prose passages too, but it closely follows Yoga Yajnavalkya. Though it differs in some areas, it offers new information, but mostly it has taken material from Yoga Yajnavalkya like Darshana Upanishad. And then Yoga Bija of Gorakshanatha was done by K. Nagarajan. It is a unique text by the legendary yogi and mystic Gorakshanatha, and the available publication with English translation by Avasti contains a lot of mistakes, both Sanskrit and English, and it is it explains very unique practices. And 2 parts which are very unique is mentioned by these texts are the Kaka Marga, the crow path, and the Markata Marga, the monkey path. Yoga Kundalini Upanishad by Mrs. Maithili, one of the Yoga Upanishads. It contains some interesting details. on the arousal of Kundalini and a unique mantra which is supposed to be efficacious in achieving the success in the process. The mantra posed some problem. Anyway, we were able to overcome it. And this is one among the Yoga Upanishads, and it offers some interesting details on pranava and also yogic practices. Now I move on to the publications. The following 4 Yoga Upanishads have already been published by our research institute: Advayataraka Upanishad, Amritanada Upanishad, Darshana Upanishad, and Dhyana Bindu Upanishad. All these texts have been published with Devanagari text, Roman transliteration, translation, and detailed notes. And then some of these publications which are going to be published in this year is Yoga Sangraha and also Shiva Swarodaya, which is a unique text. And apart from these things, we have also published as individuals some of the texts on yoga, namely myself have published Yoga, Vedanta, and Sahajamar, which was released in 2017. And then Yoga Yajnavalkya, as I told you, was published by Karnataka State Historical Society. Amanaska Yoga, a critical study of Dr. Pemalata, has been published. And then Muthu Lakshmi's Yogic Element in Panchamahakavyas has been published by Parimal Publications, New Delhi. And then we have also published a lot of research articles in our journal, namely Journal of Oriental Research, for so many years. And our academic staff have also been publishing articles on yoga in journals and other books brought out by other organizations also. We intend to collect all these articles pertaining to yoga and bring it out as a separate book. And then I move on to the projects. The KSRI has also been working on many academic projects, some of which are on yoga, especially dealing with Hatha Yoga. They are: 1, Encyclopedic Dictionary of Yoga. This is a mammoth project containing information on different aspects of yoga from known, less known, and unknown sources. Also, invaluable information has been collected from ancient Tamil literature. I am proud to mention that apart from the other available encyclopedic texts, but this one will be unique in the sense that we are going to include a lot of terminologies from Tamil literature and then Buddhism, Jainism, and so on. And there will be a separate section for the original works on yoga, which will be added to this text of Encyclopedic Dictionary of Yoga. And this is to make the scholars and public aware of the rich contribution of our ancients to yoga. Then Goraksha Samhita of Gorakshanatha. This is a work by the legendary Saint Goraksha consisting of 202 verses divided into 2 sections. A critical introduction with English translation, Roman translation notes will be published by our institute. It will be brought out in the year 2022. Yoga Sangraha of anonymous author. That is, the author is unknown. It contains about 200 verses. The special characteristic features of this text was already discussed by Dr. Muthulakshmi herself. But it talks in a different way about the positions of nadis as well as consciousness, different levels of consciousness. This is very interesting. This author also discusses unique features on the Ayurvedic principles. That is also very important as far as this text is concerned. And manuscripts from GOML Chennai, Pondicherry, and Adyar have been collated, and the critical notes with English translation and Roman transliteration, everything has been done. Only introduction part is pending, and this book will be brought out in this year, 2021. Shiva Swarodaya, one of the major texts on the less known branch of Swara science of yoga. It is in the form of Shiva Parvati dialogue. It consists of around 400 verses, and the present publication will be with Roman transliteration, English translation, and notes, and also appendix. And this is a very interesting text, including Chaya, Purusha Lakshana, prognostication, and all such things. And Hatha Sangheta Chandrika of Sundaradeva, something was said about this text. This is encyclopedic in nature. This is a very important text in the field of Hatha Yoga by Sundaradeva, who moved from most probably Andhra Pradesh, because he himself says in the Kalapan, Dakshinatya Dvijavarya, Kashyapa Gotrotpanna. So he talks about himself, his father, his guru, and he says Kashista. So he remained in Kasi. And some reference was given about Yoga Bhaskara today morning. He also refers to Yoga Bhaskara. That was by Kavindracharya. I did some work on that, but the text is not available. Kavindracharya Saraswati's work. And the Kavindracharya was instrumental in removing the jizya tax by the Emperor Shah Jahan on Hindus. So this manuscript is available. Two manuscripts are in Banaras and one in Jodhpur, one in Kolkata, one in Chennai. Mysore manuscript is not cannot be used. Therefore, we are going to collect all these manuscripts and we are going to bring out a critical edition of this particular text. And if time permits, we will add a critical introduction of more than 250 pages. And Dr. Muthulakshmi of the Kupuswami Sastry Research Institute is presently working on this project, helped by Dr. Anuradha and Maithili, and then under my overseeing. And this project is being funded by Indic Academy under DP Santanam Chair. Then Varaha Upanishad. This is also one of the minor Upanishads that deals exclusively on yoga. It contains useful information on Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. The text with Roman English translation, text with Devanagari, Roman English Roman transliteration, English translation, and illustration will be published. This is also funded by Indic Academy under DP Santanam Chair. And Yoga Kundalini Upanishad, again it is funded by Indic Academy under DP Santanam Chair. This is work. This work has been done. Is being done. It will be ready by this year by Mrs. Maithili. This, as I told you, is also a small text but very interesting text. And apart from the above, we are also working on Swarodaya Science for Human Health by Dr. K. Vidyuta. This project is being funded by Indic Academy again, and Dr. Vidyuta is working on this. It gives an introduction to what is meant by Swara and the term Swarodaya, how this is helpful in determining human health and death. So this branch is also not worked upon by many scholars, and Indic Academy, we are thankful to them for sponsoring this project. And of course, we are interested in bringing out the rest of the Yoga Upanishad, 16 Yoga Upanishad. Totally, there are 20. We have already finished the 6 of them. So we are interested in finishing 16 more of them when we get the sponsorship. And we are also more interested in bringing out some of the Tamil text, for example, Jnana Kural of Avayar, which is in couplet form, like Tirukural. It has 310 verses divided into 3 sections. It is Shiva Yoga, but Avayar, a very ancient Sangam literature, saint poetess, she talks about different technological terms like Ajapa and then oozing of the nectar from the moon, all such things. And Raja Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Laya Yoga, all these things have been compressed in this text. And we are interested in bringing out the Tamil text with Roman transliteration, English translation, if possible, Sanskrit translation also. And so far, we have not got any sponsor for it. Now, I move on to the another important thing is seminars and conferences. The academic staff and the research scholars of the KSRI have been participating in national and international conferences in various parts of India and foreign countries, like in Italy, Switzerland, France, Germany, Denmark, Thailand, and so on. And they have presented their papers. And I move on to the conducting of classes. Many foreign scholars and Indian scholars have been benefited by having classes on various texts on yoga at the KSRI. Dr. Janaki, former director of the Kupuswami Sastry Institute, taught quite a few scholars from Switzerland, Malek Dauk, Yoga Yajnavalkya and Kundalini. She taught Armela Chaukad of France, Natya Shastra and Yoga, and then USA. And she also taught Tara Mikhail, who worked on the Natha Yoga. So there were different aspects of yoga which were studied by these scholars. And I am personally teaching. I have been teaching yogic texts, different yogic texts to scholars, not only local, but also from outside India for the past 35 years. Thus, one can see that in the past 4 decades, the KSRI has contributed immensely for the study of yoga. As yoga has been gaining popularity around the world, more scholars may take up yoga as their special subject of study, the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute would certainly welcome them, and also other academic institutions and corporates to have tie-up with us and also to sponsor yogic studies in the future. And I again reiterate that Indic Academy is doing a lot of encouragement to us by sponsoring some of the projects, and I hope they would continue to nurture us in the interest of yoga. Dr. Patori is an excellent scholar, but also a very broad-minded person. I'm not flattering you, sir. It is not my nature to flatter anybody, but I'm telling the truth from the core of my heart. Thank you, and thanks to Hari Vadlamani ji for your support. We will be able to bring out more publications to help the scholars in future to come and work on this. And one important aspect I would like to, with which I would like to conclude, is the excellent teamwork at the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. Though we are having shortage of resources in the form of financial crunch, we have been existing as a family. Dr. Kameshwari, I should mention that she is the spirit, or she is the person who encourages all these things. She is behind all our projects and research work. And Dr. T.B. Vasudeva, who is an expert in deciphering manuscript. He is a very good Vedic scholar as well as in Advaita and Dharma Shastra. Unfortunately, he did not receive a reply from for this seminar. He had prepared a paper on an unpublished manuscript called by Amarananda. It is Swatma Yoga Pradipa, which contains 6 Vimsikas, 120 verses with author's own commentary belonging to the 13th century. And he wanted to bring out one Vimsika with the commentary of the author based on yoga Vimsika.
Thank you,
Anyway,
Dr. Balasubramanian.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
And I am just concluding, sir. And also I thank Dr. Yamuna and our research scholars for all their help. Dr. Anuradha, Vidyuta, and all the young scholars who have been of immense source of help to us. We hope to continue this work in future also. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Sir, a quick question. Sorry, sir, Nagaraj Garu. I just have one question. You have not mentioned about the ongoing project on Encyclopedia of Yoga. Could you please share some thoughts on where you are on that?
Sir, we have collected data. We have collected the relevant data from more than 70 or 80 texts and more than 1,500 technical terms have been collected, and also many texts which are not unknown have also been collected, and I mean from the manuscripts. So we have to bring out, but unfortunately because of resources as well as because of the scholars, only myself and Dr. Muthulakshmi are working on it now. So it may take some time, and we are restructuring it. There are some unique aspects of this encyclopedia. I didn't want to take much time on it, therefore I rushed through it, because we want to explain each and every term starting from A. What does A mean in yoga? Like that, you know, in Sanskrit alphabetical order, we have collected so much of information from many texts. Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati poses a lot of problems also because it contains a lot of technical terms. But our venture does not end with text, but commentaries also. For example, Upanishad Brahmendra Yogi gives some extra information. When we go to the minor Upanishad, there are commentators like Narayana and others, and there are many commentaries on Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So we are working on it. For example, Paryankasana, that's one simple thing. Different interpretations have been given. When we talked about Paryankasana in yoga, one of the Panchamahakavyas, we searched. Tirumular in Tirumandiram gives altogether a different interpretation. So we have to bring out all these things to come to some sort of understanding. What is Virasana? Different interpretations are given. So we are stuck presently, and we are now in the process of completing Atasangeta Chandrika because it is in the 3rd year, and because of the pandemic, we were not able to work as we would have expected to. Now also we are close, and we will take up Yogic Encyclopedia shortly. We will try to finish as early as possible, sir. Thank you for your interest, sir.